So, wanted to make a video about the dump trailer. I had a project the other day that really made me think about how you can actually lose money with this thing. I wanted one of these for years and years, and they're extremely useful. If you're watching this, I'm sure everybody can just give you hundreds and hundreds of reasons why you want a dump trailer. Personally, I use it for smaller loads to do a lot of shed pads for Amish built sheds and stuff like that. And if I have a small amount, it works out perfect. Let's say 4 or 5 yards or something, crushed concrete. And what I do is I'll bring the material, and instead of a third party, getting the delivery charge, I'll just charge that to the customer, and then it's not a lot, but it goes in my pocket instead of somebody else's, right? Anyway, I wanted to talk about some of the benefits of it. There's basically no maintenance on it. You just have to keep it out of salt if you can. But tires, you got a battery and a pump, worst case scenario. And then try not to do stupid things with it, and it'll last you almost a lifetime. So I want to talk about a few different things. A lot of people talk about scrap, and personally, I never really make anything out of scrap. The only kind of scrap I've done is helping out friends or family or something like that, and it's never what you think it's gonna be. For whatever reason, I don't know, my whole life I've timed it wrong, whatever. Scrap's never up whenever I go to the scrap yard. But this is super handy as far as in and out and fast. Like, I'd hate to load it all and unload it. It's just a nightmare. But I don't know if you can necessarily make money with this scrap. At least my experience, I have not. The other one is dump trailer rental. There's so many problems with that. I don't know how they're doing it, to be honest. That's what made me make this video. When you rent something, you got to worry about it getting stolen. You got to worry about damage. Do you drop it off at the location, leave it for 24 hours, let them fill it up? You have it, name it, whatever. Now that would be the preferred method in my mind, is if you drop it off and then come pick it up the next day. But there's a major problem with that. It's towing. Now when they're loading up the dump trailer, nobody's going to give a shit about how they load it. They're just going to fill it. They see an empty box, they're going to load it up. They could have a really unbalanced load for you, and you wouldn't know necessarily unless the tongue goes flying up right away. And when you hook it up, it could potentially cause an accident. If you got the preferred method is 60-40. 60 in front of the axle, 40% in the rear of it, towed nice and straight. You want a nice healthy tongue weight on it. That's a whole nother discussion, but it can get you hurt. Realistically, if you're not the one loading it and you don't really know what's in there, especially with like household goods and stuff that is covered up, you're not going to pick through that thing. Anyway, I wanted to talk about what happened to me the other day, I guess. So I helped out a family member, doing a little bit of cleaning out. He got some construction material that never ended up using, so just needed to clean up the house and make some space. So I brought it over, we filled it all up, and then the next day I went over to go dump it at the dump. And it was like $210 just to dump it. It's a 14-foot by 7-foot trailer. And I was gonna pay it, but I wanted to run home, get a little more cash. So on the drive home, I thought about it. I was like, I gotta be doing something wrong. There's no way that people are renting these trailers out for $250, $300, a day, and then making a profit. There's like zero return on that, especially at $210 to do it. Because what they do is they charge by the volume at that dump, and they calculate it as 7 yards, and it doesn't matter how heavy it is. 7 yards. So they just, $210. There's no profit margin in that. So I thought about it for a little bit and called around, and I found another dump that takes stuff by the ton. And it was household goods, a little bit of construction equipment, so it shouldn't have weighed that much. I think it was like 1,500 pounds or something like that. And it was substantially cheaper. Same load. I just had to drive half an hour south, but it was literally less than $100. So you really need to shop around, and that's my preferred way. If I ever have to do it again, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna stick to my little bit of material hauling and stuff like that. But I was amazed by the price difference. It's just throwing away money. As you know, you gotta really pay attention to every small little detail when you run your own business, because everything adds up. That includes the fuel, that includes the wear and tear on your truck and on the trailer. You really need to pay attention to all the details, because otherwise you won't be in business for long.